Hi, folks, and welcome to Health. I forgot the name of my show there. This is only my second time, remember that. Happiness and wealth, in that order, I might add. And my special guest today, I'm very, very pleased to welcome my good friend Tanya O'Neill.
Hello.
How are you, darling?
I'm good, thank you.
She didn't know it was going to be recorded today, so she's a little bit nervous, but she looks as pretty as ever. Tanya, tell us a little bit about yourself. What are you doing?
So, hi, I'm Tanya. I do social media and paid advertising for businesses. So if you don't have the time to do your social media or you don't know how to do your social media for a business, that's where we come in. And I do stuff like I'll film your content, I'll schedule it out, and then we also do your paid ads as well. Also got a bit of a personal brand going on where we've got nearly 800,000 followers, where we do a lot of content and do some brand collaborations and stuff as well. It's more like a fun thing, really. So social media wise, I could say I live and breathe it. I'd be very shocked if you asked me a question on social media and I wouldn't know the answer to it.
You enjoy it then?
I love it. Yeah, I do love it. But it can affect you, especially with your mental health, in a negative way as well, which is really interesting. You brought the subject up on social media and your mental health.
Yeah, you've stolen my thunder there. So I'm the host.
Okay,
all right.
sorry.
Let's just get back in your box. No, so that is why, folks, that we're talking. That's why we've got Tanya here today, because as I said, the name of my show is Health, and she's already touched on the mental health, and it's quite topical at the moment. Social media is everywhere. We all use it. Our kids use it more to the point all of the time, and mental health is really, really key to them using it around that. Tanya's going to fill us in on how we can help our children not suffer with anything out there that social media brings. Happiness. Now, if I get lots of likes, I'm happy, right? So it creates happiness. I never put a negative post on, never. I always put something happy on.
Yeah.
Right, so that's happiness. And wealth, you've already touched on the fact that you help businesses.
Yeah.
With social media. So let's go from the top then. Let's talk about the stigma. I can remember, I'm a parent, got 4 kids, and I can remember thinking, should my daughter really be seeing that at 8 years old, 9 years old, whatever? How can parents monitor, keep an eye on
what they're seeing?
Yeah, be aware of what is going on our kids' social media page.
It's difficult because as a kid, in their mind, they always think they know best. So a lot of things that they do see, they don't understand it's right or wrong because they're children. So the onus is on us as a parent, really, to really monitor what they see, what they're on, and how long they're on those platforms for. So a big thing for us at the minute as parents is our daughter is just turning 11 years old, and we really don't want her to have a phone, but all of her friends in school have phones. So we've agreed she can have a phone, but don't have these social media platforms on her phone. And that's only from what we've seen from her siblings, really. There's bullying that goes on there. There's things that pop up on, say, Instagram or TikTok that you don't want them to see. You don't want them to, you know how sometimes the media can... what's the word I'm looking for? Cloud our judgment on what is right and wrong and the way you should speak to people and shouldn't speak to people. As simple as that, really. And it's down to us as a parent to monitor it. So I know with the children at the minute, they don't have their own iCloud. Everything is connected to my iCloud. So every app they download, it gets pinged to my phone. Their WhatsApp messages get pinged to my phone. So you can monitor it that way, but then you also have to give them a bit of responsibility as well, because they're growing up and they need to have that sort of responsibility. So the platforms are becoming more and more aware of it. It's hard because 10 years ago when we first started going on social media, it was a very fun and happy place to be on. You know, we would share all our memories, all our fun stuff. And then it's only when, and it's hard for me to say this because I advocate for advertisers being on social media, but I think it's only when the big advertisers started coming in place, and you know how detrimental that can be on your mind and then what they see. So it sort of went from being a happy social place to being sold to on every angle and every aspect all the time. So it's sort of changed really on how it is. So the platforms have only just, in my opinion, started to learn on how to make it safe for children under the age of 13 or 13 to 16 years old. So I know for Instagram personally, there's now parental controls that you can put on there for users aged 13.
Yeah, the one word that you mentioned there was the bullying. Now, when I was at school, obviously there was bullies and there was people that were bullied, but they were bullied at school and then they didn't go where the bullies went after school.
Yeah.
Because they didn't want to get bullied. Recently on a fabulous documentary, play, whatever it was, Adolescence, really brought home to me how bullying is 24/7.
Yeah.
Social media, I mean, we all read into things. Depending on what mood we're in, we get a text and that text can read several ways.
Yeah.
You know, people put these posts on, they might be struggling at school and whatever. They want to be liked. They've got no likes whatsoever. And then people comment and it's detriment to, you know, the post that they've put on or whatever else. And this bullying is 24/7. How can you keep an eye on that?
It's difficult because as well you get the bullies then that set up different profiles. We've had it with one of our children already. So like we then block those people on all the social media channels and then all of a sudden they come again with a different username and a different username and a different username. But then it's the only way you can combat that is one, either take them off social media altogether so they're just not around that part of their life, which is really hard because social media is going to become part of their life when they're older anyway. Or just teach them how important it is that they might be going through something through their own life at the minute that we can't, you know, we have no control over how they're feeling or how they're portraying themselves at all. All we can do is, you know, tell Aria in a positive way, this is how you speak to people online and offline. And if somebody spoke to you that way, how would that upset you and how would that make you feel? And then teach them that way offline. You know, just because it's on a screen, there's still a person behind it. And a lot of the time as well, we read those social media posts, whatever we're seeing online, in our own voice. So whatever mood we're in, if we're in a happy mood, we see it in a positive way.
I said exactly the
if
same.
If we're in a depressive state of mind, we read it in a negative way. And then that can affect you as well, thinking this is how people, you know, have a perspective of me, or you have that imposter syndrome then, like I shouldn't be here or do this. It's really, really difficult. But a lot of the owners, you can blame the social media platforms for all of it, but they can't control everybody. No. But it's down to the parents really and how you teach your children what is right, what is wrong, and that you can't control the actions of other people. It's literally that. So just to recap then, because Litchfield Radio is all about positivity and this is a little bit dark, but it's great. Just recap, what would the number one thing you'd say to a parent out there? You said something about you control your children's cloud. Yeah. Would that be your number one go-to? It's difficult because it's only because I'm aware of how to do that, because I'm in it all the time. Some parents are not that tech savvy to be able to do that, so they'll just get their own SIM card, they'll get their own Apple ID and stuff like that. But if you're not on their cloud, if you don't share a cloud, then I would definitely recommend that you just check their phone every now and then. You know, they are still children. Yes, it's their privacy. But I know when Keane was younger, every few days to a week, John would check his messages, make sure no one's upsetting him, no one's saying anything inappropriate to him, and he's not doing it back to them either. And again, reinforced in a positive way, you know, what is right, what is wrong, and how to speak to people on and offline. Yeah, that's great. I'd definitely say check their phones. That's great. On a more positive note, Tanya, and you deal with Stephen Charles Quant's, my own business, and have really helped that business. Although we don't quantify it, I'm busy all the time. And I can only put that down to my constant posting, my social media, and putting my items, what I'm doing on a daily basis out in front of people. How can you help businesses then? Social media is a fabulous platform for advertising and advertising their business in the right way. How can you help businesses improve their turnover? I think when you say, social media has helped you get busy, it's not me, it's you. And it's the classic selling of what you would use years and years ago. People buy from people. And it's only by you being yourself online that you've become busy. That's nothing I'm doing. I'm just helping you get your face online. It's still you. And I
Making me blush.
And I think that's what it is when I speak to a lot of businesses. They sort of think it's this tech way that they don't have an understanding of, when it's just a simple way is you need to show up. People still buy from people. If people see you've built a business up from nothing and it's been in your family for 30, 40 years, and you talk about the history of it online and you show how busy you are, or you do a really raw post about, oh, we've been really quiet lately through these times, we're really struggling, support your local, and then you're busy. You know, it's exactly how it would have been done years ago. You're just showing it online, and it is people buy from people. So the part of my job I love the most is seeing how businesses grow and then get recognised just by being themselves online. A lot of it can be, you know, we need a professional photographer in, we need a professional videographer in, which is great for your website. But at the end of the day, social media is social and people want to buy from you. So you just showing up online being you is definitely how I would recommend any business in whatever sector you're in to start using social media for. Just have fun with it. Have fun with it instead of seeing it as this really scary place to be.
Yeah, okay, that's great advice. And give yourself a little plug there, because how many followers do you have?
Wow, we've got just over 600,000 on Facebook and 90,000 on Instagram. So that's taken a really long time. So we had it for a business before, and then we've changed it into a personal brand over the last few years. But yeah, it takes a lot of hard work, consistent posting, and just having fun with it. There was a time on there where it did affect my mental health and I came off it for a while. Due to people making comments of me personally, saying I had a hand that looked like a trotter, or I spoke like this really funny way. It was so bizarre. But those comments made me not go on social media for a very long time.
So have you got over that?
I just don't care anymore. I just see how...
That sort of happens with age, you know.
I think it is an age
Have you seen
thing.
me dance?
No, but I really want to put that on your social media.
I think I can dance, but my children, oh my God. And I don't care.
Yeah, I was a bit like that. Please don't dance on social media. But it's the fun aspect of it. And I suppose when you do grow and you get bigger and you get recognised, you have to, you know, brush those things off your shoulder and not take offence to them, because again, it comes down to you don't know what that person's going through today. You don't know how angry they are, why they're so angry, and they don't know me. You know, they're just seeing this 2-minute snippet of my hand that probably was at an angle that looked like a pig's trotter, but it doesn't mean to say that.
And I'm right in thinking you've gained some help recently as well from your posts, haven't you? You've not been in the best of health. I hope you don't mind me bringing that up.
Yeah.
But I've seen you do these posts where it's a lonely old place when you're not well.
It can be lonely.
And if people have got the same condition as yourself, and reaching out to them, they can give you advice, can't they?
It's crazy, yeah. And you think, why would you put that on social media? And some family members have said to me, oh my God, why did you put that on social media? But I've seen the effects on how it's had on my friend, who is amazing on TikTok, and she talks about her cancer journey and helps so many people. So when I was told that I have to have this bowel operation that's going to leave me with a possible stoma, it was like, oh my God, how am I going to, you know, get over this and talk to people about it? So I did a post on it and it went to about 4.5 million people. And I can't even tell you the amount of comments and messages I got that was so positive. They gave me so many tips and advice on what to put in my hospital bag, what to ask the doctor, how to, you know, change the stoma. And I thought, oh my gosh, you know, I've been sitting here worrying about posting this for weeks and I should have done it ages ago, because it's taken that anxiety and worry off my mind completely.
That really leads nicely into the next question.
Okay.
Well done, you. Have we rehearsed this? Have we rehearsed this? So this show concentrates on mental health. We want to help people out there. I think you've just, from me personally, talking is just a massive release.
Yeah.
That's partly selfishly why I'm absolutely loving what I do in here at Lichfield Radio. How can social media help your mental health?
I think if you use it in a positive way and, you know, share the things that you're doing with your family, share the things that you're doing, you know, outside of work or in work, you know, not only does it make you feel good, just have the knowledge that you might be helping somebody else who was thinking of doing that or starting that. a lot of videos that do really well on social media for content creators are a day in the life of, or get ready with me, or outfit of the day. And it's because we want to see other people in a similar situation to us. We don't relate to people that live in these massive mansions and have these aesthetic homes. And, you know, that's not good for your mental health, because you always feel like you're not good enough. And creators online at the minute, you're seeing so many creators grow organically by just being real and raw.
Well, you work closely with your husband, don't you, John?
Yeah.
And that must be a special relationship to work together.
It's a word for it.
Yeah. Okay. But that was probably the best advice you two gave me. I've had a failed experience on social media with the e-commerce site that I originally tried to set up. I used a fabulous company. They were really good. But what comes with a fabulous company is the expense.
Yeah.
And having a second run at it with yourself and John said to me, all these videos, yeah, we can have a videographer, but the unpolished side of it is really hard hitting. You know, people want to, like you've already brushed on, people want to get to know the person behind the button that they're clicking to buy one of the most important pieces of jewellery in their life, which is an engagement ring or wedding ring.
Yeah.
If I am too polished and too
you're not relatable then.
Edited and whatever else, I could do with a bit of editing on the old face, mind you. But then people aren't going to... There's a trust element, isn't there, in the rawness of it?
Again, and it's like whether you're a personal brand or you're a business, it's the people buying from people. And if you're not relatable, then people are just going to swipe past. I mean, you've got an attention span of 1.5 to 2 seconds, and then people's going to scroll past your video. So if you're making out you're something that you're clearly not, it will show throughout the video. So it's being that relatable. And just remember that it's called social media for a reason. Let's be social, let's be real, let's be raw, you know.
Yeah.
We're not friends with people that... You wouldn't socialise with people outside of work, you know, if they were pompous or, you know, they talked a lot of about themselves. You just wouldn't.
Oh,
so
hold on. I missed that. Can you wink at me if you're going to use a...
It just flowed out.
Okay.
You just wouldn't socialise with that sort of people anyway, off social media or on social media. So, you know, just be your real self.
So we've said already that social media is only going one place, and that's even bigger. And driving here today, I had the radio on. Unfortunately, Literal Radio hasn't just launched quite yet, so I didn't have that on. But listening to Talk Sport, and they were talking about a boxing match that's going on, and they haven't announced it yet, but Jay Paul, who's a massive YouTuber, he's about to sign a deal with... oh, God, his name's gone Anthony Joshua. Thank you, darling. I thought you said you knew nothing about boxing.
I know him.
Oh, okay. Okay. He's aesthetically pleasing, isn't he?
He's very aesthetic.
Okay, so £100 million this boxing match is going to... I mean, Jay Paul's already got £100 million anyway through YouTubing, through Instagram, whatever else that he's been doing. No wonder the kids all want to be YouTubers. Is there any advice there to someone that wants to really try and set out in making a career out of social media?
I think, I don't think the kids, when you say it to them like that, I don't think they realise in the monetary aspect what it is. They just see the lifestyles that, you know, Logan Paul puts online, Mr. Beast puts online, and then obviously where it goes from there. And of course, you know, kids want to aspire to something like that. We did when we watched television, you know, we wanted to be like the celebrities, and it's only the same sort of thing. And what is wrong with them aspiring to do something big like that? You know, as long as they're not doing anything dangerous I mean, it is crazy money. The more views you get, the more followers you get, then you get hit with these brand deals. They want their brand on your channel, so these millions and millions of followers see what they're advertising. That's basically what you get paid for. So, you know, they're going into an area of marketing. Is that a bad thing if it's done in the right way? It's a tricky one. I can see why so many parents, you know, agree for them to show up online on TikTok and stuff. I was talking to someone the other day that they've pulled their daughter out of school for bullying in school, and they're homeschooling them. She's set up a TikTok channel, and she's now earning 3 figures a month on TikTok at 11 years old, which is crazy. So
Doing what?
just videos like, hi guys, get ready with me. Hi, how are you? Showing stuff. And now she's been hitting with the brand deals, the affiliate marketing. And you know what? As crazy as it is money-wise, you think that child is learning so much about marketing, advertising, life skills. You know, I'm a little bit all for it, to be honest. As long as it's done in a non-exploitive way and a fun way, then, you know, there is a lot of money potentially to be earned there, but it also has a very dark side. There's a Netflix show. In fact, it was on Disney Channel, where a parent took it too far on YouTube.
I was going to say, you're going to have some sensible parents behind you if you're getting that kind of money, aren't you, at that age?
Yeah, it can get really dark with it. But yeah, you know, there is a lot of money to be made on social media, especially. But then it's no different from child actors. I mean, Aria does a little bit of acting and she gets paid for that. And she's on the television, like we were watching the rugby the other day and she came on in the advert of the England rugby. So it's only similar to that, isn't it, really? But they get paid a lot more money on social media.
What's your favourite platform?
Oh, my heart will always be with Facebook because that's how we grew our business to what it was. It was the first one really out there and we were with it from day dot. But I really love having fun with Instagram.
What was your business?
It was a personalised gifting business. Started from home and then just grew it. You know, online massively, but most of our sales came from Facebook advertising. Sometimes we used to spend £2,000-3,000 a day on Facebook ads to get those sales in. Yeah. So
wow. So there's a much bigger picture as far as
some brands
layout, speculating to accumulate.
Yeah. Some brands we've worked with before, you know, you can spend 10 grand a day on Facebook ads as long as it's bringing you in 50, 60, 70,000 pounds a day. Why wouldn't you spend £10,000 a day on Facebook ads? If I told you, Steve, if we put £10,000 on this Facebook ad, but it's going to bring you in 50, well, I'm pretty sure you'd say, let's do it. Yeah. So there's a great, you know, that is the positive side to social media. But again, it's advertising and it's only something that's been there since day dot. It's just in a different way.
Wow.
Mind blown.
It is. It is.
So
I mean, Facebook is my go-to based on age, I think.
I think it is an age thing.
It's a fabulous way to keep in touch with old school friends and see how you're doing in the growing old stakes.
Although as I've got older and, you know, I've changed more business-wise, I really enjoy LinkedIn.
Okay.
I'm just starting to enjoy because I like to read and you can read a lot more on LinkedIn.
And business-wise, that is a really, really good platform, isn't it? It's purely about business.
And I've not long been on it and I think I had 12 connections and I got my first client, I got another client from it, a first client on LinkedIn through it. So then I thought, this is something that, you know, and also as well, I'm being around the people that I want to be around. I'm being around other business owners, you know, like-minded people, which is what I like to be around anyway. So, yeah, I like LinkedIn. TikTok I find really hard.
Yeah.
It's not really my thing.
No.
But I can see why it's so popular.
Yeah, we did a little bit of selling, didn't we, last year? And I didn't know anything about TikTok and I ended up watching a lady box shoes for 20 minutes.
Did you?
On a live. Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah. She was selling boots and shoes and she was looking at her phone and she was boxing these boots and yes, Mrs. Moore, you've bought these furry boots. And I ended up watching them and before I knew where I was, I was 20 minutes in and she was just stood in the warehouse boxing shoes.
TikTok
and selling
shop,
them.
it's, you know, it's an incredible way of how businesses that make money.
A hot topic at the moment is AI.
Yes.
I mean, how you know, I see, obviously, when we're scrolling and we're bored and whatever else, and I see some ridiculous posts of, I saw this massive fish tank explode and cover all these people and there was whales flowing through this shopping centre and wherever else. It's obviously, how is AI going to affect what we see on social media?
It's scary in a way, but it's also really exciting. I find it really exciting. There's lots of platforms coming out, not just ChatGPT at the minute. John's been showing me a few that are really, really cool that you can, you know, have a conversation with and help you in your day-to-day business, which is amazing. Also, as well, I've been playing with these things called avatars. So sometimes I don't have enough time to sit there and film myself for my own social media. So you just take a picture of yourself and then upload it and then tell it what it wants to say for the next 12 videos, and it will create 12 videos of you speaking that by just a photo of yourself, which is crazy. But how much time will that save me as a business owner to do all the important things that will earn me more money? So there's good and bad bits to it. For the kids aspect, only yesterday I was talking to Kian at bedtime, and he had an email on his EduLink, it's called, at school, and it was about AI and how you can't use AI for your homework anymore. Not just aimed at Kian, but kids at school. But that is a big thing. And
how are they going to detect that?
I don't know how you can detect. There's little ways you can see if they've used AI, because especially ChatGPT, because a lot of the words are in American, they don't switch them over. Kids aren't that fast at picking up that. Also, as well, they use a hyphen instead of a full stop or a comma, so you can detect it that way. And really, they'll know, the kids. Would they know this information?
Right.
But it was funny because about 8-9 months ago, Kian had to do this project and we'd left it to the last minute, and I went on AI to look it up. It was a presentation on Bob Marley, and I was like, can you write me a presentation on Bob Marley? And then I just sort of told it to Kian how to do it because I was rushed and busy. So
that's working smart, not hard though, isn't it?
It is working smarter and not harder. Is it because it's new and it's this crazy thing that we're all like, ooh, do we say we're using it and not using it?
I disagree with the exams anyway, but that's another story.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it should be coursework.
Yeah.
Some people don't like that pressure.
It's the pressure of it, yeah. I failed my driving test 5 times.
Me and you both.
Did you?
Yes.
That's why we're so similar.
We are similar. We've spoke about that, haven't we? Yeah. We are extremely similar.
Yeah, 5 times.
Been working with Tanya now, how long? 18 months, 2 years?
Yeah, about just 18 months.
Yeah, and so many things come up that are very, very similar personality-wise, and how we think, and then, and how we overthink and whatever else. So.
Yeah, so,
Tanya.
Thank you so much.
You have been a wonderful guest.
That was really fun.
Really good. It's a massive subject. It's getting no smaller. We already spoke about this. I'm sure this won't be the first time you'll be on health, happiness and wealth with Stephen Charles Quant.
Love it.
Brock, and you did step in last minute. We wish Sheila well. She was poorly.
I love her.
But you did step in last minute, and then I dropped those questions
topics
on you and whatever else, and so I can't thank you enough for
anytime.
that. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you here.